guys are early. Hi.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
This is my daughter, Jackie.
Oh.
Yes.
Hi.
Yes.
You're here to keep your father in line, right?
No, most people dislike me on
Yeah,
this
she's
podcast.
not. She's not.
I'm not very liked.
She's not likable.
So
she's
enjoy.
not-
Enjoy.
Are we rolling? Are we rolling?
Yeah.
No, not loved.
Nah.
Just by her parents.
Yeah.
But you
And-
can make
and-
your own judgment. Maybe you'll like
Where'd
me.
you go to school?
In the Valley.
No, but college? You talking about
Yeah.
college?
UC Santa Cruz for undergrad, and then UCLA for graduate school.
Oh, good. Where'd you get the master's in?
Education.
And you're teaching your father now?
I was a teacher for over 10 years.
Wow. Good for you. High school?
Thank you. No, elementary. Little ones.
Little urchins.
In urban education.
So in Crenshaw, East LA,
Wow.
Hawks. And now I just have my own 2 little ones.
Good.
Yep.
They're being homeschooled.
No,
I taught
no,
high
they're
school
not.
for 2 years.
Did you?
Yeah.
What subject?
History and English.
That makes sense.
Yep.
Right before he got into broadcasting, he was a
Yeah.
teacher.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Well, it's very nice of you guys to have me in. Thank you very
No,
much.
it's
Thanks
very
for
nice of
coming
you to
in.
be here. Oh, bring me the book. Bring me the book. Bring me. I want to see the book.
I love that we're with the
We are Faces of Evil.
Faces of Evil.
You can make that decision after this, but we're not Faces of Evil. Your book is incredibly fascinating.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I should just say, because people listen to this audibly, and you're much better at broadcasting than I am, but so I got to take them into account. Bill O'Reilly is here with us. We are also on YouTube. Bill O'Reilly is not only a well-known broadcaster, commentator, and author. This is his 20th best-selling, New York Times bestseller, which I just learned about an hour ago is a record.
Yeah, 20th #1 bestseller. And you know how thrilled the New York Times has put my name at the top of the list.
Yeah, they're big fans
I mean,
of you. They
they
love
have
you.
a celebration.
Yeah.
People come in, and it's just amazing. So I'm glad I can help them.
Right. As they look at the sales, there's somebody in the New York Times office going, shit!
Not again.
Yes, Bill O'Reilly. But Faces of I read this and could not put it down. And I'm not a big reader. Unlike my daughter and you, I don't even have a GED. So homework is not so sometimes I feel, okay, I got to do homework. Somebody's coming in and they wrote a book. I couldn't put it down. But it also depressed the hell out of me. And I don't mean that in a negative way. Just the fact that evil is so dark and so... do you think humanity is evil just by nature?
I think it's about 15 or 20% of people are born bad. The other 80% are divided between good people and people who are afraid to be good. They're kind of neutral. But
Which is probably the most of us.
Yeah, it's hard to be assertive and to fight evil because there's always a downside. Evil doesn't go away. It's hard to defeat it. Look at Putin. I got Putin on a cover of that book for a reason. It's the biggest threat in the world today.
That's the most evil person right now in power?
Yeah. You would think that the Russian people would go, look, we don't want this. We don't want, this is ruining our whole country, our whole existence, but they allow it.
Why? Because they're afraid.
Yeah. It's mostly fear. And in the United States, we have crime, we have drugs, we have all kinds of things that we should not have. And unless good people rise up, it's going to continue and get worse. That's why I wrote the book.
Does our government consist of good people?
That's an excellent question.
I know. See, Jackie?
Did you spend hours thinking of it? It just come to you like that?
I did no
He's very
preparation.
excited that you said it was a good question.
I respect you, buddy.
He got your approval.
It's an excellent question from Mr. Mandel. Some of them are.
See,
But you can't generalize about a whole, are the German people evil?
No.
So they voted for Hitler.
Right.
They actually voted for him, and they knew what they were voting for. So I would say back then, 1933, you'd have to say most of the German people were evil. But that changes. Are they evil now? No. Are they weak now? Maybe. In our country, we are not, and your daughter can testify to this, teaching our children the difference between good and evil. We have abdicated that responsibility in the United States.
So my little theory is this. I think that evil evil is our natural resting position. And I don't know if the word evil is right, but if you have two babies are sitting at a table and one baby has a cookie, the other baby will just naturally hit the other baby, grab the cookie and take the cookie without any thought, without any empathy, without any, which is evil, taking something that isn't yours because that's what you want. You have on the back of the book, I don't know if it's your definition of evil, but the evil or the drivers of wickedness are money, power, and zealotry.
Yeah.
Right? So money and power. So you want the money when you're a baby as you want the cookie. You want to, our social media today is such that, power is, who doesn't want to be in power? I think everybody wants to be in power. There's nobody that doesn't want
They
some
want
power.
recognition.
They
Right.
want power. And zealotry, they make us fanatical about something because, like you were mentioning, Putin, or even our government today, without picking a side, has us always in a position of fear. If we don't choose right, or if we don't choose you, ultimate destruction is what is on the precipice of whatever.
Well, to go back to your analogy on the baby, it's kind of like the Hollywood moguls, the executives in Hollywood. If you have something, they're going to take it from you, right?
Right.
Okay. So there are certain environments where that's just regular behavior. And the baby environment's one of them because the baby doesn't have any social restraints at all.
Right.
It's a baby.
Right.
But I put a brief story in the beginning of Confronting Evil about Cain and Abel
Right.
in Genesis. And that story's in there for a reason. So here you have brothers, and one brother, Cain, kills Abel because he's jealous of him.
Right.
And I mean, there's like 3 people in the world. So you got to just say Cain was born evil.
Right.
And that's the struggle. You see, there are people who are born evil.
But don't you think that's our natural?
It is natural. But you have to contain that. Or if you don't, then you get Hitler, Mao, Stalin, and the rest of them. You've got to contain it.
But it's hard to contain it when these people inflict. I think their biggest weapon is fear. That's everybody's
that's
biggest.
the easiest way to get it.
And even in our politics today, people vote. That's why we're so tribal now and so divisive, is because I feel that people think, it's the end of democracy. It's the end of the world the way we know it. I feel, having read your book now, I feel that I'm watching, because in talking about some of the people who you talk about, they are the unraveling of these superpowers and these empires that existed then. And I feel like we're beginning to unravel as the empire or the big power right now.
That's because it's always in your face, but it's not really happening. Here's a couple of things. We've never had an evil president. Weak, corrupt, inept, yes. Never had an evil man serve in the office, which is astounding.
What about is it evil to not have empathy or care about what, sometimes words matter and they affect people? Is that not evil?
It depends. You can do an evil act, and we all do. We're all human, all sinners, but that doesn't make you evil. So just because you do an evil act doesn't make you a thoroughly evil human being. So if you look back on this country, and we're celebrating our 250th birthday next year, never had an evil president. No, that's pretty interesting. And the reason we haven't is because the folks in America, American citizens, from the time of the Revolutionary War, would not tolerate it. So what you have now is you have a heightened sense of delivery with social media. That's changed everything.
Has it not made it more dangerous?
Oh, much more dangerous. But it is also easy to brainwash and easy to propagandize. So facts don't matter, emotion matters. So people go in and they don't know very much. And they hear this stuff about Trump, about Biden, about whoever it may be. They hear it. A lot of people believe it because people believe what they want to believe. That's the real key. So you don't like Trump, you want to believe he's evil. And no matter what you're fed, you're going to believe that. You're not going to go, hey, I'm going to watch O'Reilly's no-spin broadcast and find out what the truth is. You're not going to do that. You go, yeah, that's right. Same thing on the other side. Mamdani is a good example, just elected mayor of New York City. Well, the guy's been demonized. I mean, you would think that Mao Zedong is taken over.
Right.
Okay? Now, Mamdani could be evil. Absolutely could be.
Is he?
All right? It's possible. You're taking a big chance with this guy. He's a communist. No doubt about it.
Not a socialist?
That's a bunch of bull. That's just like putting the lipstick on the pig. All right?
Really?
Mamdani wants to seize control of the entire apparatus. He wants the government to run everything. That's communism.
I come from Canada. Is that a communist country?
Who?
Canada.
No. Canada is a country that is reliant on the federal government, but not
Socialism.
100%.
It's not a full
But
socialist
what
country.
Mamdani wants is he's going to take Howie Mandel's house, if he could, and then he's going to use that $18 million, whatever it costs, and give it away to people he wants, a favored group. Okay.
No. Why is he going to take? How is he going to take my house? He'll tax me.
Okay.
He'll tax me
He's
more.
constrained by our system.
Right.
But if he wasn't, that's what he would be doing. Fidel Castro, Mamdani studied Castro almost word for word, all right, about how to present himself. And Mamdani was an excellent, excellent campaigner. He was up against Bela Lugosi, Andrew Cuomo. I told Andrew, you ought to campaign in a cape and only at night, because he's like a vampire. He goes, so,
Well,
you know, and Mamdani's smiling, you know.
Social
okay,
media.
I'm gonna tax you 85%, but don't worry about it. Be happy. It's like, whoa.
But, well, isn't that because I would say, I'm throwing out stupid numbers, but 90% of people aren't happy with what they're earning, and the fact that rich people are going to be taxed more, they don't care. That's what people. That's what people are reacting to.
Not only do they do care. They want to punish the rich people. That's a growing trend in America. It used to be that we admired. I don't know about when you were a kid, but I was in Levittown working class. I kind of admired the people like Willie Mays and the people, I was big into sports, who made it and were prospering because they were good at what they did. I wasn't jealous of them. I liked them. But now, if you're a wealthy person, there is a segment of American society who wants to punish you.
Howie Mandel here. There is nothing worse than that moment when your clean sock finds a wet spot on the floor and you know it's not water. Potty Buddy is the leak-proof reusable pad that stops accidents in their tracks. Potty Buddy pads soak up and trap pet messes fast, leaving your floors and furniture clean. Their anti-slip backing ensures they stay in place wherever you put them. This makes them perfect for potty training, protecting your surfaces, or lining playpens. If you go to pottybuddy.co right now, you can get an extra 20% off your order with code Howie20.
Well,
to hurt you.
So I heard something that was actually really interesting that resonated with me, but I don't remember who said it. But they said people don't necessarily hate capitalism or they don't necessarily love socialism. What they're seeing right now in America is the end of the monopoly game. So there's not really a ability to distribute wealth anymore because a core group of corporations or people have inherited all the wealth, and that's what they're responding to, the end of a monopoly game, and that's what they see America
that's a big
as.
macro picture, but I'm more interested in the individual.
So how do you disperse wealth now? And that's what people are responding to. Give me something so that I can now live, and we can disperse the wealth, at least if not evenly, so that I have a roof over my head, so that I could feed children. Because the similarities with Mamdani and Trump is that they both ran on affordability. That's what people care about. People care about
no doubt about that.
That they could put a roof over their head, that they could feed their family. That's what people are voting for. And whatever gets them there, they're willing to take a chance. They want hope on that right now. And I think that's what we've come to.
Well, that's Hitler-esque. That's exactly what Adolf did.
So then what's...
But you said two key words.
Yeah.
Give me something.
Instead of...
Okay?
I don't view...
That's not what capitalism is. So
opportunity,
I'm a New
though.
Yorker. I live in New York.
Mm-hmm.
You guys live out here in the nice palm trees.
Yeah, it's
and
beautiful. We have
everything.
a
But
perfect life.
It's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? It costs a fortune to live in the nice sections of LA.
Mm-hmm.
Costs a fortune to live in the nice sections of Manhattan. But you can work your way up. So I live 8 miles outside of the city limits of New York. You can rent a place on Long Island and commute to the city, and it's affordable. You're not going to be in debt to do it. But if you want to live on Park Avenue, you can't. So there is a pathway to success in capitalism. That means that you isolate your talent.
Mm-hmm.
So I've always loved your father's humor. I don't know why, there's something wrong with me, but he just cracks me up.
It's
I
dad
went
jokes.
to see him.
Dad jokes.
I went to see him.
Somebody thinks it.
You guys.
Yeah,
Were
I
you-
went to
somebody
see
said-
him at Westbury.
Why didn't you come back and say hi?
I did, but you were so stoned you didn't know it was me.
Were you? You might have
he's
been.
lying.
You might
He's-
have been.
he's
No.
lying.
I did greet him, and then he acknowledged me on the stage, but he just makes me laugh because his timing is perfect. All right, and I'm a pro.
great.
I'm amazing.
And
Go ahead.
You love this interview.
It's the best interview ever.
Just keep complimenting him.
when
Yeah.
I was walking into the theater at Westbury, everybody knows me, and they go, "Oh, why are you coming to see Howie?" I go, "Because the guy's blank and funny." All right, so, but there's more to it than that. So he knew that he was born, that God gave him this sense of humor. Okay, and he paid the price to work his way up to affluence and prominence. That's capitalism. Nobody gave you anything, I don't believe.
No.
Okay.
I refuse to believe
That isn't being stressed enough, that you can do it.
I believe you can do it. I also believe that it's not considered a handout. We pay taxes. Americans pay taxes. It shouldn't be considered a handout or that you're abusing the system when you're asking for something in return from the money you are giving to the government.
But here's where I'm gonna side with you, just in general.
Stupid woman. Okay,
It's not
go
a
ahead.
woman.
Okay.
Okay. But here's where I'm going to side with you. I believe that our system is antiquated, and our education system is antiquated. And there's
Absolutely.
and I don't know, and I don't have a GED. I did not finish school, but I love to be educated, and I love to learn, and curiosity is my fuel. And I don't know that anything that we do in school prepares us for life. I believe, I say this ad nauseum, a 4th grade education, you really have enough to be able to do business. Once you learn how to add, subtract, you learn arithmetic, reading, and writing. That's what you need. And then you need to hone a skill that interests you in a direction that you want to do. I think that we have been fed this bullshit that if you continue in school and you get a degree, that the world will be given to you. If you get a degree, I'm going to get a big job. They're going to give me big money. And most people
They're going to give you. There it is again.
Right. And that's my point.
Right.
My
And
point
that's
is
what most people look. I got a master's degree from Boston University in broadcast journalism. I had to go to Scranton, Pennsylvania to start. to Scranton.
Yeah, people
Okay,
want,
nobody
kids want
gave
to,
me anything. They go, Scranton's that way. Get in your car, drive there, work your butt off.
right.
That we're losing. And then these charlatans like Mamdani arise, just like a lot of the people that I write about in Confronting the Presidents. They go, we're going to solve your problem. We're going to give you affordability. We're going to give you a free bus ride. We're going to mind your kids. We're going to do it all.
But the
Okay?
truth is, they should be able to.
It works.
Well, I think the intent is, well, I don't know him and of him really, and I don't know if he's just a really smart campaigner and he knows how to
He's a
brand
good campaigner.
and he knows how to brand himself, and he doesn't really feel that these things could come to fruition. I do know that growing up in Canada, I believe that healthcare and education should be, if not free, accessible to absolutely everybody.
Right.
I mean, that's what makes
particularly look, you can do that, and in America, education is accessible to everybody. Public school system is accessible, all right, to everybody.
college education.
Not college and not pre-K.
State colleges, very affordable. Okay, so if you're in a state and you want to go to the state college, you want to go to private, you want to go to Harvard, you want to go to BU, whatever, you're going to pay through the nose. You want to go to Cal Poly or whatever, it's reasonable. It's accessible. Healthcare, you're right there. So we have never come to grips in this country with a fair healthcare system. And therefore you get these unbelievable price rises that people just can't even pay the deductible anymore.
Well, without going into detail, I don't think there's a family listening or watching that hasn't had an issue in their family, but we have one in our family right now, and thank God I do.
You can do it.
I can do it, but
Right.
I'm constantly being made aware that if this was just the average American,
You're
dead, and there's no coming back.
And both parties are responsible for
I agree with you.
that.
I agree with you.
But what Mamdani wants and the other progressives, government to run it, like they do in Canada. What you get in America.
Well, doesn't that make sense in the sense?
Here's what you're going to get in America. Soon as that happens, most of the doctors will get out of the government-run service and go into private called concierge services.
Right.
Therefore, the Howie Mandels will be able to afford the concierge services, but the working people won't.
That's not what's happening in Canada.
No, because they have, 40 million people? We got 350 million here.
So
There's
we have,
a
but
big
We have more
difference.
money.
But
we
we-
have a way higher GDP to be able to afford.
But it's per capita. We have
And
less
if you
tax
want a
money
knee
coming in.
operation, you got to come down here or wait 5 years up there. So you got to be realistic about this. Government-run healthcare would be a disaster in the United States, a disaster. What should happen, though, are caps. That the government
That's socialism.
negotiates the caps and says to the big farm, you can't make 500% selling, and I don't care how much R&D you do,
Right.
you can't.
That's what Mark
Now,
Cuban's company is doing.
That's what has to happen. But Congress, both parties, it drives me nuts. They don't lock in on the vitality, and that's why the people are angry, because they're not getting anywhere from their government. But the government cannot drag you through life. It can make the system more fair.
But again, referring to your book, I feel like the government, whether it's any side, is on the cusp of this evil of keeping the little man down. They don't want to do that. Like one of the besides the names that we know, Hitler and that, the robber barons.
Ugh.
But so it's and these are names that we know today and still deal with. J.P. Morgan. And
Rockefeller Center.
Rockefeller, Carnegie.
And you know who beat them? Teddy Roosevelt. You know how he did it? Through the Supreme Court. Exactly the same thing that's going on with Trump and the Supreme Court now on the tariffs. Almost exactly. That's all the 15 miscreants I have in the book apply to now. Let me make one more point on this. Stalin, Mao, Hitler, the three guys after World War II that turned this world into a horror.
Right.
They all said the same thing.
What is that?
I'm going to give you. You're going to give you. Give. I was in China in May. I've been to Cuba. I was in the Soviet Union when it was the Soviet Union. Doesn't work. Mamdani's not going to give anybody anything. Okay? Number one, he's constrained by the state in Albany. And number two, they don't have enough money. The government,
so it won't make a difference then. New York's going to be the same then if you said it. He won't.
It's going to be worse.
Why will it be worse?
Because the cops hate him. That's why.
So crime.
Public safety.
Well, they're not going to back off of something.
If you live in Manhattan,
right,
you call 911. That's your last line of defense. Maybe you'll get somebody to answer it. Maybe not. Garbage pickup.
They're not going to answer the phone.
They're not going to have enough units to zero 10,000 down now. Mamdani wants to cut another $1 billion out of the budget. Who's going to answer?
He already said he doesn't want to defund.
It's a city of 8.5 million people.
But he did say that.
He already said he's not planning on defunding police.
It's not defunding. He wants to cut the
he wants
budget
to give
for
resources to people who can deal with mental health issues so that officers can deal with crime. Okay.
You're the mental health person. Hello? Go over to Harlem, up in Amsterdam Avenue. We've got a fracas. You walk in there,
I don't know
you get shot in the head. Okay? Those domestic services, these aren't rational people you're dealing with here.
But they go
they're more likely to provide a helpful service to someone who's having a mental health crisis.
if they don't get shot in the head.
I mean,
you can't do it. It's impossible to do.
I think that's what their job is, though, to de-escalate a problem because they have...
De-escalate how? You get two people screaming at each other, one of them has a gun. And you're going to come in and try to get in the middle of that?
No, if there's a gun or a weapon, then you
If there's a weapon, then you don't send them.
Then you don't send them.
The biggest
I think his
fear
point is that police are stretched thin.
The biggest fear that all police have is domestic.
Yes.
I don't want to go in there because violence is very possible. You're going to send you in there and you're going to go, oh, well, let's all calm down. Come on. This is a tough city, 8.5 million people.
Howie Mandel here. Are you tired of those candles that smell for 5 minutes and then leave you with nothing but a headache? Maybe you're going nose blind because your body is rejecting those synthetic fragrances. Unlike the other guys, Market Street Candles use all-natural soy wax, 100% cotton wick, and essential oil-based fragrances so you can feel good about what you're burning. These candles are made with no junk like petroleum and no black soot on your ceiling. Plus, they're made right here in the USA. To experience them yourselves, go to marketstreetcandleco.com and use the code SAVE20 for 20% off.
There's also a lot of crimes that are taking place or a lot of calls that come in that are not dangerous, that do not need the police's attention and should be...
And who's going to make that determination?
The people who call that say there's no... If I were to call and say, I'm having trouble with my son right now, I need help with my son, he's not a danger.
The police won't take that call. Police will refer you.
Well, that's a problem with then that's what he's saying. He wants
No, he's
there
not
to
saying
be,
that.
That's what I heard him say.
He's not saying that. Believe me, I lived there. He's saying that instead of the police, we're going to send trained social workers into these areas to de-escalate so it doesn't get into the court system. That's dangerous and impossible. But what I'm trying to say is this is a 34-year-old man, all right?
Yes.
He should be running a Carvel. All right, an ice cream stand.
So much.
He's not going to be able to run a city of 8.5 million people. If you walk the city as I know the city as well as anybody on earth except for Curtis Lewa, okay? Your garbage is...
I love my cat man.
All right. Okay. Your garbage is not going to get picked up. Yeah. All right? There's marijuana everywhere now. There could be heroin everywhere because he's not going to prosecute drug dealers or addicts. They're going to be everywhere.
That's the district attorney.
This is in L.A. This is a very claustrophobic 8.5 million area.
Yes.
You can't have social disorder. He doesn't care about social disorder. This is a disaster. I have people living in there, and I say to my family members, your whole life's going to change. Not only are you going to lose 20% of your take-home pay, talk about affordability, 20%. Going right out of your check.
Well, it's the top 1%. He's planning on taxing 2%.
Everybody will be taxed because he can't raise the income tax unless Albany okays it.
I'm just saying what he ran on. What he ran on was the top 1% being taxed 2%.
Was Fidel Castro, almost word for word. Go to Cuba and just absorb what's happening there.
I don't know if no one has a crystal ball. No one could see into the future.
But I will bet you.
Okay. I'm just saying for me too. I'm not saying what's going to happen. I'm saying just based on what he said.
That's how he won.
Yeah.
If you're going to vote for somebody, you have to be reasonably sure that the promises they make are going to be attainable. So getting back to evil, after World War II, Germany was punished. After World War I, Germany was punished. People had nothing.
Right.
Nothing. Okay? Here comes Adolf, little mustache. Hey, I'm going to give you a car. How about that's how the Volkswagen got to be in play? I'm giving everybody a car.
I learned so much from that. I learned why that mustache was that mustache from your book.
Right.
I don't know that.
Because in World War I, he had to wear a gas mask. So to make sure that it was he had a full mustache. And he didn't feel that the seal was good, so he just shaved out this so it would, and then he kept it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So then, this is Adolf. Now,
Okay.
everybody thinks I know about Adolf. Adolf goes, give me cars, the Volkswagen. Okay. And all the hippies who bought Volkswagens, they don't know that Adolf was behind that. Then he says, I'm going to take money from the Jews. Because the Jews, they own all the banks, they own all the apartments in Berlin. Taking it and giving it to you out there in Bavaria. That's how it happened. Stalin, same thing. Look at the Tsar.
But how do they have the power over the people? That's always,
The people gave it to him.
Right, but
They gave it to him.
But how do these people get a massive? They outnumber this evil.
70% voted for Adolf in 1933 to give him dictatorial powers because he was giving them stuff. That's how it happens.
Do you think, you said that we haven't had an evil president. Do you
Right.
think it's because of the guardrails that are put on the
Yes.
president?
Very good.
And that's what makes them not cross the line into
They
evil?
can't cross the line.
But they try, right?
Some of them try. But most of them, like, I love this third term stuff for Trump.
Right.
You watch MSNBC. He's a king. He's a king. Look, you want to know about a king? I got Henry VIII in Confronting Evil. Now I'll tell you about the king.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So Trump's not going to run for third term. He knows the Supreme Court is never going to do that. It's there. It's listed.
He doesn't say it as
No.
clear as you do.
That's an excellent observation. The reason he doesn't do it is because Trump, his hobby outside of golf, is getting people he doesn't like upset. That's his hobby. If you don't like him, he wants to get you upset. So every day he wakes up and he goes, I'm going to say this to get all my detractors upset. That's his hobby. That's what he does.
It's a fun hobby.
And it works. It works.
What kind of strategy is that?
It's fun for him. That's a strategy. It's fun.
So is that not evil in a sense that?
No, it's just stupid.
Because were these people not having?
It's just, but it amuses him. It's like a little kid. It's like me. When I was 12, I wanted to annoy my parents. And every day I try to figure out how to annoy my parents. That's what Trump does.
When you sit down and talk to him privately,
I talk to him all the time.
I know. So, but what you're saying is not an incredibly flattering thing. Have you confronted him with that?
No.
Observation.
Because it's not my job, number one, to dictate how Donald Trump lives his life. If he's amused by teeing off CNN, that's fine with me. I don't care. If they're not smart enough to figure out what he's doing, you look at what somebody does, not what they say. So I would never do that.
What about, and I'm not taking sides and I'm not being political. Okay, so it was really clear and admirable to say, okay, so I want to take undocumented criminals
right,
out of here.
right.
So I don't know the numbers, but the odds are that the people that he's pulling off the streets, a lot of them are not criminals. They are undocumented, and a lot of those undocumented people are. Why wouldn't the first sweep be? I was looking up numbers. 10% of our incarcerated people are undocumented. It costs $45,000 a year to feed them 3 square meals and house them and keep them
Right.
warm and keep them why wouldn't the first sweep just be, let's save the taxpayers money, let's get the criminals who are undocumented, why do we need to house them?
Because it's very hard to get the criminals who are undocumented.
Get out of
So,
the prisons.
Here's the policy.
They're there.
Because they'll come back.
Industrial
What?
complex.
They'll come back. If they would pass case law, which I think they will, which is the law I wrote, that
You wrote
if
a
you are a
law?
criminal and you're deported and you come back, you do 10 years hard time in a federal pen just for coming back. That's Kate's law. Kate Steinle was a young woman, 32 years old, killed in San Francisco by a guy who was deported 5 times. Trump's going to get that passed. Okay? I talked to him about it last week. It's going to go. McConnell, a Republican, killed it. Wouldn't put it up for a vote because I wrote it.
Because he doesn't like you?
Who likes me? Nobody likes me.
I like you, Bill.
Okay. Well, thank you, Howie.
I do.
That's anyway. McConnell. You think I'm not letting some punk like O'Reilly, force me to introduce legislation? So
Isn't
McConnell
it weird
killed
that? Yeah. So, and I feel that's going on a lot in our government now. They're not thinking of the people; they're thinking of themselves. They either want to
that's
win
been
or
all
they
the way
want to.
back to George Washington. That's never deviated. Politicians think about themselves
They're
first.
not public servants. They're
Well,
self-servants.
they are into a sense, but their first waking moment is, what am I going to do today? What's in it for me? But let me get back to migration, because that is a real flashpoint in this country. So the Biden dereliction of duty, allowing 15 million unsupervised foreign nationals into this country, was the worst single disaster that any president has ever done, ever. And now Trump realizes that he got elected to get those people out. That's how simple this is. He was elected. He would not have been elected if he didn't say, I'm going to get them out. That's what put him over the top. So now he feels that he has to play to his crew who voted for him by getting as many out as possible. The mistake that the Trump administration is making is not explaining that. So you go in and you raid Los Angeles and you think you have a warrant out for criminal alien, okay? So you can go in the house. And then you have deportation orders signed by judges to a whole bunch of people who are not criminals, but the judge has ordered them out. All right? There's a deportation order. So yeah, ICE is going to sweep you if you have a deportation order against you. That's the law. But the press doesn't report that. Now it's the kids and who are not to blame at all who get hammered here because their father's a criminal. And the father has been in Venezuela and the kid's got no dad. That's rough. That's a tough thing. But who caused that? Biden did.
Howie Mandel here. There's nothing more frustrating than having all the cool gear, the board, the helmet, the whole look, but no mountain, no waves, and no hill to actually use it on. Moto Winch is a portable, radio-controlled, electric-powered winch that lets you bring the energy while you ski, skate, board, or surf across any surface. I'm talking water, pavement, snow. And here's the magic part. It comes with a smart handle that lets you control the speed with the press of a button. Stop waiting on the sidelines of your own life. Put down your deposit and use the code Howie20 for 20% off at motowinch.com.
Now, I'm not the blame game doesn't do us any good, but perspective does. History does.
Well, you're saying Biden did. A lot of these people.
No, he did it. There was no congressional action.
But that border has been a flow
Howie,
through
you got to
many
understand, orders were given by Homeland Security to the Border Patrol, and they have said it. Let them in. If you apply for asylum, you have to go through a port of entry. Biden knocked that out. If you caught somebody in Winslow, Arizona, and said, oh, I want asylum, which they were told to do by the cartels, they're in. No, that's not what the law said.
Do you believe in a legal path to citizenship at all?
Sure I do, but you have to follow the rules. But the rules should be made easier. There should be a brand new immigration. We're operating on an immigration law that was made in 1952. Mm-hmm. It hasn't been updated since 1952. That's insane. This has to be laid out.
So why don't they lay out a really easy path?
Because both parties use it to their advantage.
Why are they picking up people and deporting them that are in the process of getting towards their citizenship?
You can't, if you don't have a signed deportation order and you're not caught at the border, Obama deported more people than any other president because he turned them right around at the border.
I do know that. I do know
Okay.
Obama deported
But
more
if you
people
have
than-
a signed order by a judge, you're out of here. If you don't, then you are entitled to due process. So if Homeland Security doesn't give you that hearing, they are in violation. You know how many immigration attorneys there are now?
No.
Just in Southern California alone.
No.
Thousands and thousands of immigration attorneys. And all they do is say, you can't touch this person because there's no order of deportation. And then it stops. And then the case is adjudicated.
I personally know people where it hasn't stopped and they have been picked up. I don't know if they've been deported,
Then
but they have been picked up
Well,
and held.
look, picked up is different than being booted.
And still held.
So you have to take people in to see what their status is. I have the solution to it. And I told President Trump.
But why are you picking people up without knowing what their status is?
Because if they don't have
Isn't that just rounding
some
people up?
kind of credential to be here,
But a lot of them do, and a lot of them are in the process of getting
then
it.
the attorney can sue the federal government. The federal government does not want that suit.
What's the solution?
Here's the solution. Everyone here undocumented right now, and I suggested this to President Trump, I don't know whether he'll do it or not, has to register with the federal government within 30 days. Everybody. You got to give the federal government their status, where they live, and whether they're employed or not. Federal government gets that information, and then they run it through the computer system to see if there's a warrant against those people, they have a DUI, they have any kind of beef at all. If they don't, then the federal government sends them back a piece of paper or whatever, how they want to handle it bureaucracy-wise, that allows them not to be picked up. So it'd be like cop asking for let me see your ID. They take it out. Here's the letter. Okay? My case is under review. That's the way to do it.
That is a good idea.
Really?
How
You
did-
should
how
just
did-
stop
What do you
any
think?
brown person and say, show me you're allowed to be here?
No. He's saying, well, you can.
You wouldn't go up to you and say, show me that you're allowed to be here.
No, if they think that somebody's.
Why would they think that?
But you're going two steps
It's
ahead.
probable cause.
Because of the color of their skin.
No,
No,
no color of their
you're
skin.
dealing with you're being a little more woke, because that's not why.
Okay. Why would they stop them and ask them if they're allowed to be here then?
It
If they had
depends on their-
probable cause, maybe they're doing something. That's another problem. I agree that
Yes.
people you don't want to.
I think that's what people are outraged about right now.
But right now, for this particular problem,
Mm-hmm.
if everybody voluntarily, if they were not a criminal,
Mm-hmm.
and they knew that there was a pathway, and they were going to get a paper that guaranteed that they weren't going to get swept up by ICE, is that not a good idea? How did he respond to that?
He took it in. Look, my job, I have spoken in depth to 4 presidents, and it's mostly off the record. I don't tell my, sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. But Clinton, Bush the younger, Obama extensively, and Trump I've known for 35 years. And they asked me my opinion. I never offer an opinion, ever. Because that's an intrusion. I don't do that. I'm a private citizen, I'm a journalist. But they'll ask me, and I'll say, this is what you might consider, Mr. President. I hope he does it. Because number one, it'd be good for the country, because we should be a fair country. Right? I think
Yes,
that's where
I'm,
goal
a,
is.
I'm an
Reagan believed
immigrant,
that.
and you're
Right.
a son of immigrants, right?
Right, I'm way back. But we should be a fair country, and that's a fair way to do it. Is it perfect? No. You're always going to have a violation of probable cause sometimes. So say that you're in this country and your brother is a dope dealer, but you don't even know it. And you're in the house, and there's your brother, and there's ICE at the front door. Well, you're going to go in.
My problems are a lot of extremes. Like, yes, I think everyone agrees that if there are criminals or drug dealers or murderers that come into the country, that they shouldn't be here. There's also a lot of people, it's really expensive and takes a really long time to get citizenship. And there's people that have tried to go down that path and maybe couldn't afford it anymore or it ran up.
Well,
and they're still working and they're still paying taxes and they're still contributing to the economy without getting anything in return.
All I'll tell you is
And
more
all
than a
those
million
people,
a year
yeah,
are admitted. That's a lot of people
are
coming in here.
admitted to
Citizenship.
Oh, okay. No, not citizenship.
Not citizenship, but they're
Coming.
admitted with a green card or credentials. Look, we can't house the world. We just can't. And I'm in a beef with Pope Leo now.
You're fighting with the Pope?
Yeah, I'm beef with Pope Leo.
Add to the list.
I think you guys have figured out I lead a pretty interesting life.
You really do. Why does the Pope not like
Because
you?
the Pope doesn't, and he's a good man. And so is Francis. And I'm Catholic, you know,
Right,
the nuns and all that. And I respect him. I go to church every Sunday.
He's from the
and I
US,
pray for
right?
your father.
He's Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago.
He's from
Yeah,
Chicago.
I go to Mass every Sunday. I pray for your father.
Thank
Why?
you.
You
Thank you.
need
And
it?
I feel it.
Yeah,
we all need it, buddy.
And I'm praying. I hope he picks the right singer. I mean, I really, you know, I
For
want,
AGT.
right.
No, just for in life.
Yeah.
For your birthday. Go ahead.
And so Pope Leo, again, a good man, he doesn't seem to understand that the third world, everybody wants to get out. Who wants to live in Uganda? Nobody, okay? They want to live in LA. So you can't take everybody because you can't afford it. There are 42 million people on food stamps now. The country owes $38 trillion. Pope Leo, do you not understand that? Yes, we are compelled to be compassionate and to help people when we can, and I do.
Isn't the point to make Uganda a better place to live?
You can't make Uganda a better place to live. We just don't have the ability to do that.
The world doesn't have the ability to do that?
No, it's a tribal situation. They're not going to change. When I was in Afghanistan, this is the mistake that the government made. I mean, they thought that the people in Afghanistan and Iraq were going to embrace democracy. That's the last thing they want. They want supper. They don't care about democracy. And we lost thousands of American soldiers, fine people, trying to give them an opportunity they didn't want. Okay, I'm deviating. Pope Leo. He's right. He's doing his job. All right? Love your neighbor as yourself. If you live in California, you know, it'd be great if everybody could be here, but they can't be. Because then it destroys the fabric for everybody else. That's why Europe is overrun.
So, and his point is...
He doesn't have an answer because he's not...
You're compassionate about it. You're just saying you can't afford to take care of the world.
I come at life as a problem-solving secular journalist. He comes at life as a theologian who wants the best for every human being. The best for every human being would be a condo in San Diego. Okay? That's the best you can do.
In your estimation, I would think that there is an answer, or to make any place a better place or a more fertile place.
You can make it a better place. You got to do it within reality and within reason. So when I wrote Confronting Evil, my goal here was, number one, to tell people that you have to stand up against evil. That's the dominant part of the book. You can't allow it, because if you allow it, it gets worse and worse and worse. And people die and they're miserable. And all of us have good people. 85% or 80% of the good people have to say no, because we do know what right and wrong. That was number one. But number two was to give people a framework of how these heinous individuals got where they were. And almost 100% was that most good people looked away. And they made excuses for looking away.
Howie Mandel here. Ever feel like your brain is buffering and your body is stuck in slow-mo before noon? Social X isn't just about wellness. It's about movement, designed to support clean energy and focus with a formula you can feel good about and that's trusted by countless experts. Meet the dynamic duo, Xanthomist and Glutamist. Fast-acting mist developed using advanced delivery technology. Then there's Accelerate, formulated with naturally sourced ingredients to help support smooth, crash-free energy. Visit socialx.com and use code Howie for a limited time offer.
So, you know.
But that's why I'm saying when you say the German people at one point were bad, I've always questioned the fact, you know, my family I'm related to a lot of Holocaust survivors, and I always questioned. I understand mental health, and there was something psychotic about Adolf. And what was amazing to me is how you can take an entire culture with you, like how it was okay for everybody to witness. Even if you don't like Jews and because of your ignorance and you're afraid that they have all the money, which they didn't, how in good conscience can so many people implement, you know? Because
they justified it by saying, I can't do anything about it because if I do, they're going to round me up and throw me into Auschwitz.
But in one of the opening, you opened the book, or near the beginning of the book, was October 7th. You know, just what Hamas was doing in Israel, awful. But how do you? I believe that there's a leader that would condone this, but how do you get even that many people that cross the border and the atrocities?
Because they're brainwashed, they are savages, and they aren't condemned by their own.
It's just scary because we're the same species. We're all.
But it's always been this way. Mankind has always been a struggle.
Book, it's clear.
Between good and evil. A struggle between good and evil. Always been that way. But the good people have to, number one, back good and try to find solutions. And that's what I try to do. I'm not saying I'm a good person. I'm the most flawed person on the block. But I am trying to bring to the attention of the world, now that I have a worldwide forum, look, there are ways to go about alleviating these problems. There are ways to be fair. But fairness cuts both ways. You can't let everybody into the United States. Pope Leo.
Okay, so that's...
You say Pope Leo, but you're looking directly at me.
And
I'll probably be... and I'm pushing for an interview with him. Hope I get it. Boy, that would be...
You think you would?
You talk to the most exciting and kind of people. You cross borders that people don't. You were just in China, weren't you?
Yeah.
And
I mean, I was invited by the Chinese government to do a seminar on President Trump.
Is the Chinese government not evil?
Is the Chinese government evil? I would say yes. It's a police state. No rights, no human rights at all, none.
Kind of like a lot of the people right here.
They're not as bad as Mao. Mao killed 20 million of his own people.
Right.
And, you know, it's funny when my son and I, who's a political science major at Georgetown, walking around Beijing, went up to the Great Wall and all that. Pictures of Mao everywhere. There's Mao. There's Mao. Imagine an American killing 20 million Americans. You think his picture would be everywhere? But the Chinese people don't even know what Mao did.
How do you know and they don't know? Like, how do they keep that? How do you?
Because of censorship. Everything is censored. Education is censored. Look, the Chinese government watches me on YouTube. That's why they wanted me over there, because they know that I have a relationship.
Okay, but you wrote this
You know
book.
that
We're
TikTok-
talking about this. They see this on YouTube. You just mentioned it.
Right.
Not their citizens.
No, this is the
government, not their citizens.
The citizens, no, the citizens can't get YouTube.
Do you know their TikTok is different? They don't. See
I did know that.
Citizens can't get any free flow of information comes in. They're blacked out unless they have relatives or something like that. But the government watches me, and they know that I have a relationship with Donald Trump. I've known him forever.
Right.
So they wanted to ask me questions about the president, and I paid my own way. I wouldn't take a dime from anybody. Went over. The only caveat I had was I have to debrief President Trump when I come back, which I did for 45 minutes. I said, this is what they're angling for. And almost everything I told him came true in the last meeting a couple of weeks ago in Korea. So I'm very proud of that.
Tell me what it is.
Well, they wanted to have deals made in certain trade situations. Okay, I related that, what they wanted, what their vision was. Okay,
Who are you talking to there?
the Politburo, 13 of the meanest guys you have ever seen in your entire life, and one woman who was probably more powerful than those guys.
Do you have any fear when you're sitting there?
My son goes, "Are we going to go to the gulag, Dad?" And I said, "I don't think so. There'd be a little high profile, but we got to take chances in life." The only time that there was a back and forth that was a little, you know me. I mean, I'm a big mouth and confrontational man. All right. I'm more confrontation than Simon Cowell. I mean, that's how confrontational.
Simon's
I
not
am.
confrontational.
No.
Okay.
He likes, you like the back and
I'm
forth.
sitting
He
across
yeah.
from the director of security. Woof. Okay. About 5'6", 5'7". Half of them spoke English. Half of them had the headphones. Instant translation. And this guy, you could tell right away, this guy. And I said, look, in order to deal with Donald Trump, you're going to have to give him something beforehand, which is exactly what happened.
The crown.
Chinese signaled to Rubio, the Secretary of State, we're willing to go here, 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 and here. This is before the meeting in Korea.
Okay.
So you're going to have to do that. So he walks in, he knows that there's a semblance of a deal. Okay. So the guy in the security looks at me. He's sitting right across from me like you guys are, all right? And he goes, well, give me an example of what we'd have to give him. So I looked at him and I went, got to get out of fentanyl trade. Silence. He goes, we don't make fentanyl. We make the precursors. So, and my son's about 4 seats down from me. I straighten up my 6'4" frame and I look at him and I go, do you need to be in that business? Oof. That was it. And then they moved on. But that was the only time there was like this wave of whoa.
Do you feel like you moved the line a little bit?
I believe what I want to believe, so of course I do. I'm taking full credit for it.
So you solved the whole fentanyl problem. That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Amazing.
Put that on
That's our
O'Reilly.
clickbait. That's fentanyl.
Put that on O'Reilly's resume.
Yeah,
Get
yes.
the fentanyl out of here. But that's exactly what happened. And the word honor is overused in this country now. Privileged to be there representing me. I wasn't representing my country, but I was there because of my country. Because I believe, and I gave all of the Politburo members a outline of what I call a partnership for peace and prosperity between the United States and China.
And one of the books?
The book wasn't out then.
Okay.
I don't know if I could have done that with Mao on the cover of that
Well, that's
book.
what I'm thinking.
So the book didn't come out until September. This was in May.
Timing.
Yeah.
When you get offered, when they ask you to come, you have to call the White House and let them
Yeah,
know.
I let, that's respect. That, I'm respectful. I was respectful in the Biden presidency. Obama and I got along very well. And I'm respectful to the office of the presidency. It doesn't mean I agree with everything. And if they ask me, I'll give them my straight opinion on it.
You?
Yeah.
I love watching you with Cuomo. Go
I
ahead.
wanted to ask you a question about, there's a lot of discourse and divide right now in your party about...
What party do you think he's in? I think he's an independent.
I am. I'm
You're
a registered independent.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people who have left network television has changed to independent.
I think a lot of people. I think there's a movement to the center. You know?
It's safer now to be an independent because the extremists have taken over both parties.
It's not the party it
All right.
was.
Well, I wanted to ask you your opinion because there's a lot of divide in the Republican Party about censorship when it comes to like Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes that just happened, the interview that just happened. And I hear Tucker Carlson talking about it, and then I hear members of Congress talking about it, and them disagreeing with that interview in general. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, sure. You're going to drop this podcast on Tuesday, right?
I think so.
I think so. So on Monday, and this is
We don't know.
serendipitous. Tell the guys they should drop it on Tuesday.
You
On
should drop it
Monday-
on Tuesday.
I'm going to do a commentary on anti-Semitism on YouTube.
Okay.
Okay.
It's smoking hot.
Smoking hot
There's
anti-Semitism.
nothing hot like anti-Semitism.
Okay. What this is
So I'll say, you better watch.
this is different than you've ever heard.
Okay.
Okay? So you guys are going to be right in the zone here.
Okay.
And the problem with the issue is this. We Americans tolerate expression. We don't have many limits on that expression unless you are threatening someone with violence. You can say what you want to say. That's not going to change. Mm-hmm. The media does not follow the Constitution. It blackballs people all the time. Okay? It distorts, it lies, and it does for money, for profit. Okay? So if they don't like what you say, you're never going to get on that show, whatever it may be, ever. They're going to ban you, ghost you, as the kids say. I don't believe in that. But I do believe in exposing who's saying what. So I'll tell you about Mr. Fuentes.
Okay.
And where he's going wrong. And I don't know him, but I'm a fact-based guy. There isn't one fact in Confronting Evil that's been challenged. In 300 pages, my research is the best in the world. We don't put stuff in there that's not true. So that's what I'm going to do, because it is an important issue, and it's growing in intensity.
Well, I can't wait to hear that. And this.
Do you think he's evil?
No, he's doing
Nick Fuentes?
something that's evil.
What's the difference between an evildoer
It's
and
a scale thing. It's a scale thing. So your neighbor getting up at 6 doing the leaf blower, that's kind of evil, right?
No, that's just stupid. But I'm saying if you're saying you're doing evil, because if you're doing something evil that constitutes anti-Semitism, that's much more dangerous than waking you up at 6 in the morning with a leaf blower.
It depends on the degree of it. All right, so I got the 15 worst in there. I mean, I tried to get the worst. I couldn't find a woman. I tried to put a woman in a book. I couldn't find a woman in history that overcame what these guys did.
Say thank you.
Thank you.
But anyway,
Compliment.
you can't, just because somebody does something evil, doesn't mean they are evil. You got to take the totality of a person. I don't know Mr. Fuentes. I couldn't make that judgment on him. But I will dissect what he says in a very fact-based, fair way.
So then do you think
Wow.
it's evil to punish a group of people for the sins of a few?
No, that's ridiculous. You take everybody as an individual and what they're doing. But you can say the drug cartels are evil. And if you're a member of that, you're evil. You can do that. You know, if your whole life is devoted to making money, selling poison to people, I think that's evil. You know, there's no asterisk next to it. Well, he goes to mass on Sunday. No. So it's a totality thing.
Bill, you're an interesting guy. You really are. You're a smart, interesting guy who, is you never disappoint.
Well, thank you.
Whenever
I
I
appreciate
turn you
that,
on, you're funny and witty and educated. This was, I'm telling you, is an amazing read. What's next? What's the next book?
Confronting America, What Has to Change. Be out this time next year.
You have the answer?
I got all the answers, Howie. You know that.
You stopped fentanyl.
Yeah.
Not yet.
The next book. No,
We're
but I
on
know
the road.
it's on the table.
We're on the road.
We're on the precipice.
Let me give him some stuff. Oh, we got
yeah.
some stuff. What's
He'll
this
love
one?
underwear. Okay.
Oh my God. This is from YouTube. Just got a YouTube plaque. 100,000.
Wow.
Thank you.
That.
Oh, that's sunny day.
100,000
Subscribers. And
These
also,
guys are great.
thank
The
you.
band.
They are great. They are great. And I also, do you wear boxer briefs? I got underpants for you, Bill.
Good, because you're doing the interview in your pajamas. People, I don't know if they can see.
He's knocking my
Howie,
outfit.
he's half dressed. He's got the pajama bottoms
No,
on.
I don't have pajama bottoms on. I have like
You look cool, Dad. You're cool.
I don't know if I'm cool, but I have here. These are great. These are a Canadian company that I support, Man-Made. Here, see, you feel them. They're really comfortable. They
All
don't.
right.
Yeah, they moisture wicking and everything. You'll wear those.
And your pouch is so comfy. It's like your family jewels are on a cloud.
We have to read the lines. These are our sponsors. This is how we do integrations. But this is
bad
great.
at it.
Anyway, I can't thank you enough for coming. Sonny, do you have a song to play him out?
To play us out. What does that mean?
Absolutely. Yeah.
What?
Bill,
Yeah, we're
Bill,
gonna
O'Reilly.
Take it out with a little.
Like that?
We're gonna take it out with a little sting.
What?
Take it out with a little sting.
What does that mean?
I don't know what that means, to play us out.
You know, we're gonna just take it out with sting.
I don't know what that means.
What does that mean?
What is a sting? What is a sting?
We are going to do Sting, yeah.
Just tell me and I'll do it live. I'll do it live.
We'll do it live.
Cheap shot, Mandel.
I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Cheap shot. He's cheap shot me.
Fuck does this mean? No.
Fucking thing sucks.
All right.
Go walk off.
Thank you, Bill.
Thanks for having me, guys. That worked out well, right?
Thank you.
I appreciate you reading the book. Very nice.
Oh, I appreciate you writing. I couldn't put it down.
Every time I came over, he was in his room reading.
You guys do anything else tonight?
Yeah, I got another podcast now, and I do a game theme.
Get your groove on right now. Watching Howie Mandel. Get your groove on right now. Watching Howie Mandel. Bill O'Reilly stomping in with his inside edition. Won't you make yourself at home? Welcome to the no spin zone. I know it's been said, don't you dare be a pinhead. Bill O'Reilly doing it right. Fuck it, we'll do it live. Get your